Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Property, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. Today, we are diving into Plan B's explosive Bitcoin prediction for 2024 and 2025, where he says BTC could hit 1 million, but the real wild card is a US election in November, which could make or break Bitcoin's future. So we'll discuss how that could have two drastically different outcomes based on regulation. So stay tuned. All right, Plan B recently tweeted this out. As of this video, it's 15 hours ago, but you guys will be seeing it a few days later. If you're not familiar with Plan B, remember he's an OG trader in the space, most notably known for his stock to flow model, spot on the previous Bitcoin cycles, missed it in the COVID pandemic money printing era, but he's back on track with this new cycle. So he's just someone to listen to in the space that's been following Bitcoin heavily and does a lot of fundamentals and charts. So basically, he says in October is set to be a classic Bitcoin pump month. You heard it called Uptober, Rocktober, all these other things. So he says prices will reach up to 70K in this classic pump month. And then we get to November, where we can see two dramatically different outcomes potentially. Says in November, Trump wins the election, and then it says ends Democrats, and then Biden, Harris, Warren, Gensler, war on crypto BTC to 100K. So that's his perspective. I believe he's from the Netherlands as well. He's somewhere in Europe, so he's not even an American citizen, but he understands the influence that the global reserve currency and the US government have on crypto. So if on the flip side, we have Kamala Harris winning and, as Tom Emmer fears, appointing Secretary Gensler, current SEC Chair Gensler, as the Treasury Secretary, then that could be one hell of a shit show. I have no idea what would happen from there. She's recently come out saying that she will help to build the crypto innovation in the US, but politicians always say anything they want, both parties. So we don't know what will happen, but we can look at what Gensler has done in the past. And speaking of that, we're going to go to this recent clip from the House Financial Services hearing, literally again about 15 hours ago. 5 hours of blah blah blah. But the one clip I want to play is Tom Emmer smacking down Gensler again, because he always does such a great job of it. Granted, nothing will come from this, but it just feels good to have someone say our thoughts out loud about what's been going on with this damn shit show, clown show of regulation.
Minnesota. The Republican Whip, Mr. Emmer, for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Chair Gensler, leadership comes from the top, correct?
Leadership comes from a lot of things, but the top matters a lot.
It's yes. The answer is yes, sir. But under your leadership at the SEC, it appears that you expect political allegiance, not just from the political appointees, but also from the civil servants you hired. Isn't that correct?
That is not correct, sir.
Well, sir, that's yet.
I want to know why he always has this smug look on his face. Like he looks like, when he gets questioned, like it's a game to him. Like he just doesn't care. Let me see. Can I go back? Hold on.
Another deliberate.
Go back. He just looks like it's a big joke to him.
Leadership comes from a lot of things, but the top matters.
Like, look at that. The top matters a lot. Like, it just, I don't know, makes you want to punch him. All right, let's continue.
There's a lot.
It's yes. The answer is yes, sir. But under your leadership at the SEC, it appears that you expect political allegiance, not just from the political appointees, but also from the civil servants you hired. Isn't that correct?
That is not correct, sir.
Well, sir, that's yet another deliberate distortion of the truth. The House has obtained emails between you and your now director of training and markets. He interviewed with you and then sent you a follow-up email reassuring you, sir, that he aligned with your political views. So that to me seems like you expect political allegiance from the people that you hire as civil servants at the SEC. The way you hire and the culture you require encourages your staff to have loyalty to you above the law and above the mission of the SEC. Which brings us to the debt box case in Utah. Your attorney, who no doubt heard your anti-crypto rhetoric, which is not based in law, went out and deliberately lied to a court in order to effectuate the commands from their chair to prosecute crypto companies. Chair Gensler, do you know of any other time in history where the SEC has been sanctioned by a court for material misrepresentation?
First,
Like, that's crazy. They know basically the things he's done that are literally illegal. Like he said, deliberately lying to a court. They know all this stuff, but he's still in charge. Like, that just goes to show you how deep, like, the deep state, the politics, whatever this is, how deep it goes. Like, everybody knows what's going on, but nobody's changing anything. Like, it's nuts. The game is rigged. They know it's rigged. We know it's rigged, but fuck it.
if I might say, we hire folks. We hire.
No, reclaiming my time, sir. The answer to that question is no, it has never happened. But let me ask you another one. Does the fact that we're talking about this today even slightly embarrass you?
Look, the matters in that case were not well handled, and
Reclaiming my
we've said
time
that
again.
to the court.
Reclaiming my time again. The debt box case should absolutely be embarrassing to you, sir. And just to be clear, the SEC had to pay with taxpayer dollars nearly $2 million in legal fees for this material misrepresentation, for this lie. You are aware of that, I'm sure. Is the debt box case the reason that why the SEC's head of crypto asset and cyber unit resigned in June, sir?
No, they went to take another job.
Okay, so no one in a senior level position here in Washington, D.C. has been held responsible for this complete abuse of taxpayer dollars. The SEC broke the law, your attorneys lied to the court, and no one in your leadership here in D.C. has been held accountable. That tracks. Seems like business as usual here in Washington. Okay, switching gears very quickly. It's been recently reported that Vice President Harris has finally said she'd craft clear rules of the road for the digital asset space if she becomes president. Is this your approach too, sir? Or do you think she's rebuking you because she doesn't think you've done a good enough job establishing these clear rules over the last 3 years of her administration?
I think that there's laws in place. If Congress wishes to change them, they'll change them. But we are enforcing the laws, and there are many
Reclaiming
people
my
in this
time.
field.
So you don't.
Like, that's nuts. He's still using the same rhetoric about there being laws, but yet you listen to Brian Armstrong from Coinbase literally talk about how they've requested clarity and they've gotten nothing. Like, everyone that's faced a lawsuit has gotten zero clarity. There's still no laws and regulations to govern the space. How can you use a model or law for the Howey test that's like 60 some odd years old when digital assets didn't exist and use it to govern a space that just got created within the last decade? Like, it doesn't make sense. There was no internet or anything back then. So how can you even have laws that you're trying to apply to something now? It's like having the horse and carriage traffic laws, and then all of a sudden now we got cars, and it's like, you can't go more than 5 trots an hour. It's like, what the hell? It's not true. We have vehicles now. Like, it's asinine. It makes no sense.
I don't think
They're
she
not
should
following
be
the law.
reclaiming my time. Well, it's very interesting that you view your performance that way, because we have a litany of court cases, extraordinary confusion in the marketplace, and millions of Americans pining for clarity from you. You've abused the agency's enforcement tools, and you've even baited companies eager to comply with you, only to hit them with enforcement actions. You've retaliated against businesses and people who have come before this committee to talk about the next generation of American finance. And perhaps, somehow, worst of all, you've made up the term crypto asset security. This term is nowhere to be found in statute. You made it up. You never provided any interpretive guidance on how crypto asset security might be defined within the walls of your SEC. Yet, you made the broad proclamation that you believe a majority of tokens are crypto asset securities. You did this, and you deliberately used this made-up term as the basis for your entire enforcement crusade over the past 3 years. Only for...
I bet he's sitting there smiling right there like, oh, what a genius I am. Yeah, I made the term up, of course. How else can I prosecute them without making something up that doesn't exist?
For your lawyers to retract it in a footnote to a court just last week. Your inconsistencies on this issue, sir, have set this country back. We could not have had a more historically destructive or lawless chairman of the SEC. And I yield back.
Ooh, drop the mic. I like how aggressive and authoritative he is. But again, sadly, it doesn't mean anything. But it's just good to hear that there are people at these meetings that are aware of the overreach and just the blatant disregard for the public. So will it change? I have no idea, but man, if we see him as Secretary of Treasury, that would be a shit show. I definitely think the markets would react to that. I still believe Bitcoin's definitely going up regardless. There's too many international players and stuff and others that will do what they can to make sure this succeeds. BlackRock is already in on this, so they would definitely have something to say if things started to shift in a way that was less favorable for them. So it's definitely not like gonna be, you know, oh my God, the sky is falling, Bitcoin dropping back down to 10K. But it will not be nearly as bullish as it would be with other presidential candidates that have talked about having a Bitcoin reserve and stockpiling Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin and doing things of that nature. So let's move on to the rest of Plan B's tweet. So he's saying crypto people companies return in the US at 200K. Then there's going to be Power Law Crew sells. I don't know who this is, but I guess it's just normal volatility selling off a bit. So a chance to get back in at 150. 150 becomes the low for 2025. And then as we go towards the end of 2025, June, July, face melting FOMO, Bitcoin all-time high, 1 million. So we will see. I put on my previous video, Bitcoin 1 million, I think by the next cycle. So a lot of people, Plan B, I guess, are saying that it'd be this cycle. But either way, even a bearish case scenario is like 250K to 200K of Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to share that from the House Financial Services hearing and some speculation from Plan B. What do you guys think will take place in all of this? Let me know in the comments. All right, smash that HBO special. Help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.